Bodybags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Monday's edition of Bodybags. A while back they had Vampire Week and I could not make a video, and I'm a little disappointed in that because vampires are some of my favorite horror films. I love vampire movies. And there was one in particular that I wanted to review for you guys that week. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it done, so I am going to review it for you today. The film is called Bitten. This stars Jason Mewes and I'm not sure what the young lady's name in it is, Erica Cox and Richard Fitzpatrick. What this movie is basically about is Jason Mewes is a night shift paramedic. Him and his buddy Raj, which Jason Mewes' character's name is Jack. Jack and his buddy Roger work the night shift as a paramedic. And one day Jason Mewes comes home where he lives in kind of like the ghetto, the slums. And right before he enters his apartment, he finds a body laying down inside a bunch of garbage bags. Not in garbage bags, but like on top of them. And he asks the person if they're all right. As he approaches the body, he notices that it's covered with blood and that it's a beautiful young lady. So he figured this lady's either been murdered or something bad happened to her. So he basically tries to revive her. Of course, she wakes up, like I said, covered in blood, and he takes her into his apartment to clean her up, and he noticed that she has marks on her neck. She wakes up the next day, happy that he saved her and everything, even though he told her he was going to take her to the hospital, but she refused to go to the hospital. She doesn't remember what happened, and she has no idea how she got to Jason Mewes' house, but he explains all that to her. Of course, he, continues on with his life. She stays at his house until she starts feeling better. He continues on with his life by, doing his night shift job. Tells his buddy Roger about it. Roger jokes because Jason Mewes, his character Jack, was in a bad relationship before. And he is happy that Jack finally found a girl after a bad breakup with his last girlfriend. The only problem is that Roger believes that this young lady is a junkie, a heroin addict. After he meets her and sees the marks on her neck, he has no doubts at all that this woman is a junkie and claims that the marks on her neck are that of track marks from being a heroin addict. Well, you slowly find out that this is not the case, because even though she is shaking like a heroin addict, and that's one of the reasons why Roger points it out that she's a junkie, she's basically shaking because she's starving. She needs something to eat, but she doesn't realize that blood is what she needs, and she doesn't know what's wrong with her. She eventually finds out. I'm not going to tell you how, but he finds out as well, Jack finding out, and instead of getting rid of her, I guess because she's a vampire, she kind of had that charm over him. So he kind of fell in love with her at first sight. And vice versa, she fell in love with him. So he goes out of his way to try to help her hunger. They go through a few things that don't go so well, doesn't work for her. He steals blood from his hospital or whatever that he works for, and she can't drink it because it's cold. She needs warm blood. So Jack decides to go out and trick some bad people on the streets, like thugs, into coming back to his apartment to feed his girlfriend. That goes on for a little while. The only problem is her hunger won't stop. She just keeps getting hungrier and hungrier, until eventually innocent people start getting caught up in the mix, which Jason Mewes knows that it's going to turn out bad for him if he doesn't put a stop to it. That's basically the whole synopsis behind the film. It is a bit cheesy. There's only like there's 3 main characters in the film, and then there's a couple, people like thugs and stuff that show up in the film. But it is kind of a love story. It has a lot of comedy in it. Most of it is the dialogue between Roger and Jack. But you know how Jason Mewes is in a lot of his films. Likes to say the fuck word all the time, and of course Roger has irritable bowel syndrome, so he's always talking about taking a dump on the toilet all the time. So it has a lot of funny parts in it. It's got some cool kill scenes in it, some great blood. There's no CGI in it. It's all practical. And yeah, I just thought it was a fun film. I mean, of course, I didn't care too much for the ending, but I still enjoyed the film, and it's a really good vampire film in my opinion. And the lady that plays the vampire, she's gorgeous, and she's naked in the film a lot, so you do get to see a lot of breast shots. I would recommend you guys check this out if you have not seen it, especially if you're a vampire film. I found it to be highly enjoyable, and if I had to rate it out of 5, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. Like I said, there are some parts that are kind of ridiculous, cheesy, but most of it comes with the dialogue. But it's a good film. So definitely check out Bitten, and I'll see you guys on next Monday. You guys have a great day. Deuces. Now I'm going to go take a crap.